Welcome back to Travel Show Live. Thanks for coming back. This is, well, because, you know, there's a chance you may not have gotten back, and I'm glad you did. It is our official holiday spectacular post-Thanksgiving. We're down at the Gaylord National Resort down just outside Washington, D.C., and Amie Gorell is here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I might hug you before the end of this interview.
That would be okay.
But not now.
Okay.
And maybe I'll give you some warning. Now, the reason I thought we'd come up here, because A, the view. This is a lovely spot you got here.
Isn't it amazing?
You know, the place is actually pretty big, but when you're not in this giant atrium, it doesn't really feel big. Like, it still feels kind of intimate.
Right.
I'm assuming by design, right?
It is, exactly. It is a 2,000-room hotel, though, so it's not a little inn, that's for sure.
It's not a B&B. Very good. And so when people come down here, when you see them for the first time, what do they always say to you?
Well, usually the first thing they say when they walk in through the door and they see our magnificent atrium is, wow. They can't believe how amazing it is. It's this is an 18-story picture window looking out onto the Potomac River.
Now, do you always, are these just hung for the holiday season, the white things that are coming down the shears?
These are our light sickles. It's part of our Christmas holiday decorations. We have more than 2 million Christmas lights this year, and yes, and these hang during the holiday season, which runs from before Thanksgiving all the way past New Year's.
Well, the nice part about this is that, you know, here it is the end of November, but people still have time to come down and visit for an extended weekend. Would this be considered your like your shoulder season, right?
Yes, it is.
It is, so they can find great rates this time of year, right?
Great rates, absolutely. Just go to our website.
And then we came down here, and we're going to watch the video later on. To actually, we came down to see ice, because I think that is just a brilliant thing. Do you do that? Well, explain a little bit of that for me, if you don't mind. Right.
Well, it's our first year for ice. It's a tradition for all of the Gaylord Hotels brand. We've done it at all 3 of our other hotels, and now we're bringing it to Washington, D.C. this time for the first year. We bring in 2 million pounds of ice. We bring in 40 ice carvers from Harbin, China. That's where they hold one of the world's top 3 ice festivals.
Nice.
And they spend 40 days carving this magnificent walk-through attraction.
Yeah.
It is life-size walk-through ice sculptures, and just to say that they're ice sculptures is really doing it a disservice, because these are works of art carved in ice. There's a 2-story tall ice castle with ice slides that the kids and the adults can slide down. There's an ice bridge over an ice pond. There's even a life-size igloo with penguins dancing outside. It's really amazing.
I have a question for you, though. Why did Gaylord decide to build a property on this location? Do you know?
Well, this was the last parcel of undeveloped waterfront land here in the Washington region. We are literally just south of the District of Columbia. We're right across the river from Old Town Alexandria, so it was a spectacular destination for us to build a resort. I mean, what better place to build an 18-story picture window, quite frankly, looking out under the Potomac River?
Makes
you
a
can't
lot
really
of sense.
find that in
a lot of
this
people
area.
don't know about the water taxi. Is that a relatively new thing?
It is. Actually, the water taxi started when we opened a year and a half ago. We opened in April of 2008, and there's this brand new water taxi service that can now connect us and our hotel throughout the region. So you can take the water taxi over to Old Town Alexandria. You can go upriver to Georgetown. You can also go to the new Washington Nationals ballpark, which is the new Southwest DC waterfront.
Oh, nice.
Or you can go downriver to Mount Vernon. So you can really connect all throughout the region just by staying here at our hotel.
And that's relatively inexpensive. You can ride it all day, right?
It is. For example, the trip across the river over to Old Town Alexandria is $8 each way.
I don't want to say that's cheap, but nobody likes to be called cheap, but that's cheap.
It is. It's a great deal.
I like that. Let's talk about food on the property. It's one of my favorite subjects because people have to eat. What are we going to be eating while we're here?
Well, we have 4 restaurants. Our first restaurant is our fine dining restaurant, Old Hickory Steakhouse, serving wonderful entrees. Their specialty is steak, but we have the area's only maitre d' fromage, where we have our own artisanal cheese cave, and our maitre d' fromage is responsible for procuring all of our cheeses. She ages them right here on property, and then she wheels her cheese trolley right up to your table and presents these artisanal cheeses and creates a cheese plate just for you. It's amazing.
Is it an actual cheese cave? Is it a cave of cheese, or is it like a...
It's not a real cave.
Okay, because that would be
It's actually a cooler, but in the world of artisanal cheeses, you refer to it as a cave.
Like a cheese trolley as well. You can't call it a cheese cart. They get a little upset about that.
It is a cheese trolley.
Ah, very good. I like that. All right, what else? We got the steakhouse. Where else are we going?
We have Moon Bay Coastal Cuisine, which is our upscale restaurant, which is a seafood restaurant, the best of the Chesapeake region. You can get some great Maryland crab cakes there for sure.
Yep.
We have Pienza Italian Market, which is our Mediterranean-inspired buffet restaurant.
Is that where we had lunch? I love that place.
That is where we had lunch.
That was a good place. I love that.
Great food. And then our 4th dining option is National Pastime Sports Bar and Grill, which I'm sure you love, there is a 30-foot high-definition video screen in the sports bar, and it is probably one of the most beautiful sports bar you've ever seen, right?
It is, and here's what I'll tell you about that. I'm not exactly a sports enthusiast per se. However, we had a blast watching a football game last night just because it's well laid out. I mean, it really is a great, and the food was fantastic.
Absolutely. So lots of dining options here. We also have a quick service option as well, Java Coast, where you can go and get sandwiches, salads, whatever.
What are we going to be doing while we're here besides eating, if you don't mind?
Right. Well, there is an amazing destination just outside our doorsteps called National Harbor. National Harbor is an exciting new district here in Washington, D.C. It sits right along the waterfront. Our hotel is the big attraction here at National Harbor, but right outside of us are even more restaurants. There's shopping, there's other hotels, there's nightlife. 3 brand new nightclubs and bars have just recently opened. So National Harbor is definitely the hot new destination in the Washington, D.C. region.
Nice. We can raise the roof.
We can.
I love this. All right, so later on in the program, we're going to learn about more cheese.
Yes.
Right? I can't wait. And we're going to do a little wine tasting as well, correct? All right, very good. Are you going to stay? Are you going to come to ICE with us?
I will come to ICE with you.
I love that. We have
may
to do
even
that
go down the slide.
Oh, now that could be a lot of fun. We'll be right back. Stay with us here on Travel Show Live.